Superman is seen carrying a bus through Egypt, giving some kids an unforgettable experience. He brings them back to the children's hospital, where the nurse thanks him, saying these visits are what the kids look forward to. Superman replies that it's the least he can do and that it's nothing. He then mentions he has to go home to face a much harder task, dealing with his own struggles. Superman recently met a time traveler named Samson who told him he would complete 12 legendary trials before he died. The issue is Superman has only finished 7 of them, and time is running out quickly. Clark's first task is to take care of the bottle city of Kandor. He has never known how to help its tiny citizens, so he calls on his friend, Leo Quintum. Leo goes into Kandor and tells the citizens he might have a solution. Meanwhile, Superman worries about who will protect people from mad scientists, monsters, and themselves once he's gone. To find an answer, Superman conducts an experiment, creating Earth-Q in a small replica universe. Kenneth still goes back to his daily routine. In Metropolis, he stops a train from derailing and fights the Kano Man, who, to his surprise, is holding Lois hostage. Despite the challenge, Superman rescues Lois. She confesses that she orchestrated her own kidnapping because she desperately needs to talk to Clark, but he refuses to engage. She informs him that Leo has disclosed the truth. He's suffering from a fatal solar radiation overdose. Holding him close, she insists he cannot die and will find a solution. As she speaks, Superman witnesses over 35,000 dead skin cells shedding from his body like confetti. He apologizes to Lois, explaining their biological incompatibility and that she could never have expected more from him than this. Despite Lois's pleas and belief that there's always a solution, Superman is called away by something demanding his immediate attention. He expresses regret to Lois, but explains that someone else needs him. Next, we see a girl crying uncontrollably, accidentally dropping her phone off the edge of a building. Suddenly, a warm hand grabs her shoulder. Superman assures her that her doctor was delayed and things are never as dire as they seem. He promises, "You're much stronger than you realize. Trust yourself." Inside the bottle city of Kandor, citizens are debating whether to accept Leo Quintum's solution. However, a small group has already decided. They recognize that Superman's life is at risk, and accepting this offer is the least they can do. Superman finishes repairing the final broken bridge on Earth. Life on his simulated Earth-Q starts to develop, and then he reads and studies his own genetic code, then prepares to visit someone. He confronts his greatest enemy, Lex Luthor, and then reveals that he's dying. Superman will only live for 3 more weeks before Luthor's scheduled execution. He challenges Luthor to use these weeks to accomplish everything he boasted about doing for humanity if Superman hadn't intervened. There's still time for Luthor to make a positive impact and use his intellect for good. Superman believes there's good within him, but Luthor spits in his face in response. Clark prepares and constructs a suit for his upcoming and most significant challenge. Next, we observe him and Leo walking on the surface of Mars, where they plan to relocate the citizens of Kandor. And he informs Leo that as thanks for this, he's giving him a final gift, which the entire genetic sequence, trusting Leo with his 8 billion letter genetic code and leaving Lois with his last gift. Included are instructions on combining his DNA with that of a human being. In his will, he bequeaths their future to Lois Lane. Tiny Kandorians, now powered by exposure to the yellow sun, possess all of Superman's greatest strengths and abilities. They are microscopic, and a team of them urgently navigates through Clark's body in a bid to save his life. Sadly, they report that the white cells are dying too quickly for them to halt or repair. Superman reassures them not to worry. Later, as Clark returns to the children's hospital, he expresses to the Kandorians that he hadn't anticipated being saved. Their advanced knowledge and powers make human diseases trivial for them. These microscopic Kandorians can tackle any challenge. Speaking with the children, Clark mentions he may not make his scheduled visit next week. However, as he releases the tiny Kandorians from his grasp, he promises they will all return home before then, regardless. Meanwhile, on Superman's replicate, Earth-Q, a man in an apartment holds a pencil while sketching a design, telling himself that this will change everything. As his final act towards Clark Kent, the mild-mannered reporter who always reminded him of the struggles of ordinary people, he crafts the headline of the century.